So my name is José Gálvez. I am a native from Honduras and I've been living in Vermont for 6 years now. Since moving to Vermont, I've realized that this has become my new home. When I think about Vermont, I think of 3 words: unspoiled, beautiful mountains. Therefore, today it's important for me to address an issue that has become a hot topic of debate among Vermont citizens: the issue of developing wind energy or utility scale wind energy on our mountains. Before I even explore into more details what this issue on wind energy is, it is important that we have a general understanding of the United States legal system. The legal system in the United States begins with the United States Constitution. The U.S. Constitution grants power to 3 different entities of government. The first article of the U.S. Constitution vests legislative powers on Congress, which is divided into the House of Representatives and also the Senate. The second article of the Constitution vests executive authority on the President of the United States. And the third article of the Constitution vests judicial powers on the Supreme Court. Each branch of power has its own and distinct role. Each of these branches ensures that the other one is fulfilling their own role. Congress has the authority to create laws, and these laws are usually known as statutory laws. It is the President's role and duty to promulgate and ensure that these laws and standards are being met. The Supreme Court, on the other hand, determines whether these laws are constitutional or not. When a law is not created by Congress or considered to be enacted as a statute, then the law becomes common law. And these are laws made by courts. When there is no precedent for the court to reference, then the court has to make a decision which becomes law. The statutory law and common law are equally important in order to have an effective legal system. As we've explored, our legal system grants authority on Congress, the President, and the courts to determine what laws citizens should abide. These issues can be divided into 3 different categories: environmental, social, and economic. In environmental, we have issues such as stormwater runoff. This refers to that our mountains contain headwater streams that feed drinking water supplies and critical aquatic and wildlife habitat. Building utility-scale turbines in these areas can create significant water quality degradation due to silt runoff and changing the hydrology during and after the construction. We also have to think about habitat destruction. Construction of roads and turbines require blasting bedrock and outcropping, clear-cutting of forests, and trucking in huge quantities of field and construction material. As a result, the wilderness qualities of these areas are lost. Habitat fragmentation. Building the necessary infrastructure includes massive clearing that fragments wildlife habitats and significantly reduces the area where bears and other creatures can live. Economic impacts. Economic impacts can be divided into 3 categories. The first one are aesthetic impacts. Since utility-scale wind projects are proposed for Vermont mountainous regions, the projects can be seen from 20 or more miles away. This, as a result, affects our tourism. Disturbing Vermont's image will heavily impact the state's economy. How can we explore this issue within our legal system? There has not been a framework or past incidents within our federal system that have guided us to create statutory laws that will avoid this sort of construction in our mountains. Therefore, the best way to address wind energy would be within our common law system. When a citizen or a plaintiff brings a concern in regards to wind energy development, they raise a claim of public nuisance. This nuisance involves interfering with the peaceful enjoyment of someone else's property, and there can be a claim for pain and suffering, which increases the damages that can be awarded. In Vermont, 3 wind projects have been already up and running: the one in Lowell Mountain, one in Searsburg, and one in Sheffield. And the Sheffield Mountain, many citizens have already raised public nuisance claim against First Wind, which was the developer of this project, but much has not been done yet. For safety reasons, many plant operators close the site and the surrounding lands off from recreation to ensure that no one is in danger and to reduce liability. When we think about the social category, we gotta think about issues that are directly affecting people. First, we gotta think about the noise, which creates anxiety, sleep disorder, and other sorts of stress. Studies have reported that audible and inaudible low-frequency infrared sound caused by the turbines create this sort of health problems. Safety risk. There is no 100% guarantee that the turbines at blades of 1,000 feet off the ground will not completely collapse. Therefore, this becomes a risk for the people that live by these sites. Community division. Wind development is a divisive issue for Vermont communities. In every town where a utility-scale wind project has been proposed, the community has become heated and divided. Being this said, I don't necessarily disagree with wind energy. I think wind energy is wonderful. However, it is wonderful where it's fit and where it meets the geographic needs of the specific area. In Vermont, wind energy has to be developed on the mountains. Huge devastation must go in, and then you will have a general discontent among the public, and therefore it just is not appropriate for this landscape. Think about wind energy in Iowa, Texas, or anywhere where you have flatland, plateaus, and that you're able to, to build several turbines that will provide more electricity rather than building 5 to 15 turbines by devastating 200 miles of ridgeline.